Where will EV charging stations of the future be located? The adoption of any new technology is a gradual process, and it always takes time for people to break free of their old ways of doing things. Early TV show *. This article comes to us courtesy OFAB, which also makes aftermarket Tesla accessories. Authored by Charles, copyright provided by the Motorsport Network. Above, Tesla Model S charging at home. Source A. Of course, EV owners instantly saw the absurdity, and most industry experts disagree about how much and what kinds of infrastructure will be needed in the EV ecosystem of the future, but there's no question that public charging will have a role to play. As Tesla management consulting firm McKinsey & Company has published data examining the coming transition to e-mobility. Ina Hawk, copyright provided by the Motorsport Network. Above, a Tesla Model X at the Vanguard condominiums in Toronto, Canada. Image by Dev. However, Engel also notes the issue of urban apartment dwellers in dense urban areas, where single-family homes are fewer. Public charging will be required, spurred by on-street and commercial garage parking demand. China is already, as EVs proliferate, will the increased demand for electricity threaten to overload local electrical grids? McKinsey agreed. Other experts argue that having more EVs connected to the grid could actually be allowing utilities to spread their fixed costs over a larger volume of electricity sales. Copyright provided by the Motorsport Network. Source A. However, while EV in general is expected to put only a minor burden on the grid, the fact that EV owners tend to be clustered in certain areas could lead to local bottlenecks. Residential hot utilities need to start planning now to avoid future supply problems. One sensible measure. Looking into the future, the most exciting technologies are vehicle-to-grid V2G, which allows EV batteries to discharge energy to the grid, and which uses algorithms to optimize charging times. Implementing these tech. Written by A. Source A. * Editors note: EVANNEX, which also sells aftermarket gear for Teslas, has kindly allowed us to share some of its content with our readers, free of charge. Our thanks go out.
Raindrop, truck top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park.